Welcome to battle school. A great responsibility rests upon each of you. When the enemy first invaded, we were not ready. Millions of innocent lives were lost. That must never be allowed to happen again. We threw everything we had at the invaders. And in the midst of that decisive battle, a legendary hero emerged. Let the courage of Mazaraka be your inspiration.
Sometimes skeptical when going into watching a successful book made into a film.
Yeah.
What makes this film different from the others?
Well, audiences have seen everything. They've seen everything, and most of them can predict how a movie is going to end. And so this is one of the classics. This was written in '84 from a short story written in the '70s. And so it's complicated. This movie was in the studio system for a long time, and I think it was in the studio system for a long time because they didn't know quite what to do with it. Young protagonists, but adult themes, deals with war and peace, and it's complicated. It's a grand adventure, and it's a huge special effects extravaganza, but it's also complicated. Normally a movie like this is just a popcorn movie. It goes in one ear, out the other.
Now, I did see that you do have a very young cast. How was it working with such a young cast?
Well, we have both kinds of cast. We have both the young cast, and we have Harrison Ford and and Sir Ben Kingsley and Viola Davis. Mm-hmm. And so, actually, seeing the two of them together is kind of cool. You know, there's the old joke: never work with children and animals, right?
Uh-huh.
But you know, we prepared these guys a lot. They were in NASA space camp for 6 months before the shooting began. They were with Cirque du Soleil trainers to teach them how to float in zero-G. And so by the time they arrived on the set, because, you know, when you're working with someone under 18, you can only work with them for 5 or 6 hours because after that they have to go to school. So they were so prepared and so bonded and so professional that, frankly, it's stupid to say that they broke the rule of never work with children. I would work with young people again.
And very
like them
diverse.
Anytime.
Very diverse, I should say, too. You have such a diverse cast. As a matter of fact, you have Bonzo, the leader of the Salamanders. He speaks Spanish a few times. Was this part of the script, or was it something that just came along while filming?
Part of the script. We knew that the international fleet, is what they're called, had to represent international world. And so, by the way, I wasn't born in this country. I was born in Mexico City. My mother's Cuban. And so, to me, the idea of the international fleet being something that represented the future of the world had to be very important. And Gavin, our writer-director, is South African. And so, to us, the idea of making it multicultural and international was a no-brainer. That's just our shtick.
Bob, you being a fan already of the book, how was it for you to see the film in the big screen after all the hard work that you guys already put into it?
At first, it's scary, and you're like, you watch the film at first, and you're thinking, oh God, please let this work, and I hope fans. And I'm so jaded, and I know the book, and I know I'm supposed to love it, and I don't even know what I'm thinking. And then time goes by, and by the time that I saw the final cut and had enough distance from it, I thought, as I like to say, we might get away with this.
Good, good. What do you want people to leave the theaters thinking when they finish watching Ender's Game? What do you want people to have in their minds when they leave?
I want audiences to leave asking questions. I don't like to tell an audience what to think. And this is something I've learned on this movie. This movie is a question. It's not an answer. It's funny, when we were on the European tour, I'd literally get one question said, oh, this movie is clearly about peace. And then the next interviewer would literally say, oh, this movie is literally about preemptive war. Literally 2 different viewpoints came in and said, this movie's about this or that. And I took that as a compliment. I said to myself, that's the discussion. That's the question. The scene that Harrison, Colonel Graff, and Ender have at the end of the movie, where they're arguing about what is the movie about, that to me is the greatest fun and challenge of the movie. I don't want you to come out thinking about anything. I want you to come out talking about stuff and asking about it. And that's the conversation that they have. We don't have answers, we have questions. And that's if you're lucky, that's the kind of movie you want to do.
Good. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
In 3, 2, 1.